Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Madness University. This is LZ, and I am here with Nick. And today we're actually going to be talking about a technology or a social platform that I don't think many of us maybe are using. It's not the obvious one, it's not the IG, it's not the Facebook, it is Reddit. So we're going to be discussing how you can use Reddit for your collecting purposes.
Mm.
And Nick, you're really into Reddit a lot more than I am. I know that I need to get better at it. So I want you to kind of school me and the audience a bit with this topic today. So
Sure,
what do
man.
you want to tell us about Reddit?
Well, first off, I know a lot of you know I ran a digital agency for a while, and almost all of my business came from just gaming Reddit for clients, for big companies. And in that process, I learned about a lot about how Reddit works. And I applied that to sports cards. I have been applying it to sports cards. And I think the funny thing about Reddit is people sleep on it, but it's the number six or seven site in the US. All those memes you see on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere in life, you know where they come from? They come from Reddit. That is the source of the internet. It's crazy. So, not to bore you with like the philosophy of Reddit or anything, but it's a massive site. And there are some significant subreddits, which a subreddit is basically a little mini discussion board within Reddit about a subject. There could be a subreddit for owls. There could be a subreddit for basketball cards. And so there are some big ones. There's one for sports cards. There's one for basketball cards. There's one for baseball cards. And I will give you an example of how it worked wonderfully. So recently, there was a post on there saying, I ran into 2,000 autographs.
Mhm.
WTF, like, what do I do? I happen to be on Reddit. I happened to DM the guy and he was on an episode. We did like a 30-minute episode about his collection and it was wild. That was a Reddit post. He's just a Reddit user. And I've gotten so many sneaky cards and card deals done from Reddit and nobody's thinking about it. So that's kind of the lay of the land, I guess. And there, like I said, there's one for every different card group and every different sport. There's one for soccer. There's one for everything. So it's a great place to check out. I highly recommend that people jump on there.
Mhm. Yeah. So to Nick's point around, I mean, I do know a little bit about Reddit, so I will kind of talk a bit about it. It really has become almost, I'm going to say, like the system of record for the internet. It really is becoming that. It's to Nick's point, a lot of your searches on Google are tied to Reddit so much that this is becoming such an important platform that I believe soon Reddit is going to go public, like very soon. So
Yeah.
it's going to be, a legit public company, similar to Facebook and, some of the other social platforms that we use. Um, I think the reason why I haven't got on board, and maybe you can help me with it, Nick, is it's just the way the subreddits read. It to me at least, it just kind of flows a little differently than a thread on IG or even a thread on Facebook. How would you suggest like tonight I go and not get overwhelmed with getting on Reddit and starting to meet people and do some research?
I would jump into the subreddit of the sports cards you like the most. So for you, I know it's basketball.
Hmm.
So the best way to do that, the easiest way is to go into Google and just say basketball cards subreddit. You Google that, that will put you there. You can do it
And
within
is it
Reddit.
just, would it just be one subreddit or is there going to be like multiples that I'm going to have to figure out what's the best one?
There's probably a few, but just take the one with the most subscribers. I think there's like 50, 60,000, something like that. You'll see. It's the most active. It's the biggest one. It's probably going to be the top one in search. And you click there. And then I would just like read the discussion and what people are
Hmm.
talking about. It's a healthy mix. I mean, there's like vintage and modern and finds and pack pulls and everything you can imagine. The coolest part of it though is there's some stickies at the top, which again, it's a weird way to like look at things on the
Mm.
internet, but these stickies have a lot of great information. If you're like a brand new basketball collector, you have no idea what's going on. They have like a primer, then they have like a version 2 of the primer, version 3 of the primer. They're updating it all the time. Like repacks come out, and then there's another primer on repacks. And it's like great advice.
Interesting. So these stickies, could I get my sticky at the top of one of these, or is this like the person who first created that subreddit? Like,
No,
how does it work? Like,
it's a
if I get the most thumbs up, I can get one of the stickies.
yes, that's part of it.
Okay.
It's a true meritocracy. So no, it's
Okay.
not like you've been on there for 20 years or any of that. It's just is what you're posting awesome? If it
Hmm.
is, then the mod might say, "Hey, this is like really good. Why don't you put something a little more formal together? We'll stick it at the top." Or this post is so good. We had that happen with something on in Facebook where how to get an autograph through the mail. They pinned it in like a TTM group. It's very similar to that. Like it's
Okay.
kind of like a Facebook group in a way. It's like its little own
Hmm.
kingdom, and so they can just take that post and stick it to the top.
All right. Good. All right. You're helping me. All right. I'm learning some stuff. All right. So we talk about it all the time. 1986 Flair set. I am only 4 cards away. So tonight, could I post in a basketball subreddit, building 1986 Flair autograph set? These are the 4 I need. If anybody has them, reach out to me. Like, is that a good post?
Yeah. If you're brand new and have like no karma and no posts and look like a bot, then they might swat you away. But if it's a good
Okay.
legit post and it's like you look kind of normal posting it, you
Yeah.
should be fine. I've posted stuff like that all the time. I've got a $500 bounty out on Reddit for the 1969 cards I need, and that's indexing forever in Google. So when somebody Googles like 1969 tops, like Reddit
Hmm.
is like ranking, and so I'm there, like with my bounty. Should somebody ever
Wow.
find those cards I need? I mean, that's the game. It's people are
Hmm.
starting to Google like, what shampoo should I use? Reddit, right? They're not just like it's changing things, and it's kind of like it's a great like almost like a hive mind. You're getting feedback right away
Yeah.
from a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Okay. Now I have logged on there before and I've seen this karma thing. What is karma? Because you mentioned it. What is
It's
that?
just how many votes up you've gotten. So there's two
Okay.
types. There's post karma and comment karma. And
Hmm.
so, whatever, you'll see people with like 50,000, right? That's just how many
Wow.
upvotes they've gotten for their posts.
Hmm.
And they separate it between comments or whatever. The more karma you have, the more things you can do, the more awards you can give people, yada, yada, yada. You're just like a super user, essentially.
Okay. So you've given some examples of how you've used it. It looks like, you put bounties out. You put cards that you're looking for. You talked about how we identified that individual who had thousands of autographs and we had him on our YouTube channel. All right, so that's kind of you're identifying people that are posting, you're asking for bounties, you're asking for trying to find cards that you need. Like what else are you using it for? Is there any other obvious ones that people should be using it for?
I just see what's going on. New releases for cards, what people
Okay.
are into, what
Mm-hmm.
people are ripping. It's almost like the lay of the land. It doesn't the subreddit doesn't discriminate between like vintage and modern and this and that. It just kind of shows life in the hobby
Mm-hmm.
and in a particular area too, which is kind of cool. So I just kind of see like, the new set comes out, whatever, just see what people think of it or what people are pulling from it. You can just kind of like look around.
Okay. All right, everybody. Well, hopefully this educated you. I actually do feel a little bit more comfortable. I think I'm going to get on there tonight. I'm going to
Sweet.
make my post about the 86 Flair set. I'll have to craft it in a good enough way that the bots don't kick me off of it. But everyone, I mean, we mentioned the other popular socials, right? There's the Facebook and IG, I think are probably the 2 more popular ones for collecting. But this is becoming a legit platform, everybody. So I think everyone do your homework, get on there, get comfortable with it. Because my guess is in 2 years from now, we're all going to be using this thing, all of us, if we're not
You will.
using it
And if
already.
you're not using it already, guess what? The memes you're posting are coming from Reddit. And I'll
There we go.
say one last thing before we drop off. If you're still not sure about Reddit, go to the Shower Thoughts subreddit. It's hilarious. Like they'll have a comment. One of the best ones I've ever seen was the first woman to have twins was probably really confused. like like that's your like so it's
That's a
shower
shower
thoughts.
thought.
That's a shower
I
thought,
love it.
right? Like
I love
giraffes
it.
must get really bad heartburn. There's just stuff like that all the time. So check out shower thoughts and maybe you'll
Okay.
start to like Reddit.
Love it. All right, everybody. Well, until next time, we hope you enjoyed this Reddit episode for Madness University.
Thanks everyone.
Bye, everybody.